You jazzy. You everything a man could ever want, girl, you jazzy. You not about that drama, you loyal and classy, you jazzy. And all these other niggas shoot the shot, but you ain't having it, girl, you jazzy. And I love you to the moon and back.
So you watching that shit right now? Shout out to the whole BX, man. It's your boy True. Cater. Eat 'em.
Yeah.
Xavier.
Let's get it.
Money and murder. Money and murder. Money and murder. Man, that's all we ever heard of, nigga. Money and murder. Money and murder. Money and murder. Man, it's like the Cosa Nostra. It's that 848. 848. 848. Ooh, money and murder.
Hey guys, welcome to the Jazzy Mango Red Carpet Lounge. I'm sitting here chilling with my homeboy Benny Bricks in the building. What's goody?
How y'all doing out there? Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. I'm happy for you to come.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
How's everything been going?
Everything is good, you know. With the passing of my good brother Ty. That was a little unfortunate, and it was a huge blow to all of us personally. But because we had so much of this season filmed already, we were able to release it and start putting out some episodes. So.
Yes, definitely. I mean, how are you feeling like being able to keep moving on and doing your work, but still like keeping him alive and keeping his memory here?
Well, it hasn't been hard, like I said, because we had so much footage of him. That's on the business side of things, but personally, you know, a lot of us, we have been going through some, some like really tough times, thinking about him. I know me, myself, I deal with, death and different things differently than other people. So some of my cast members, they were taking it really hard, and some of them were unable to film some, certain days because it was just too overwhelming, the pain of thinking of him. But I've been keeping myself busy. But like all day yesterday, I was thinking of him, and I was even thinking about going back to some of the old messages that we have and I want to, listen to some of his voice a little bit. So that's something I'll probably do later on today or something. I don't know how it's going to affect me, but I was thinking about that, like just to be able to hear his voice, because I was remembering some of the conversations he and I would have personally and on set. And I was like, damn, just kind of missing his voice or whatever. So
Definitely.
I think I might do that.
So I do want to ask you, like, how did you start getting into filming? Did you originally start there, or did you have something that you were doing before?
Well, I'm an author, so I was publishing some books, and I think a dream for most authors is to eventually see their work on the big screen. So I had the ideas already to one day put one of my books, maybe have it in Hollywood or even as a sitcom or Netflix or something of that nature. It was definitely a thought. It wasn't until I discovered a web series and I saw how they had put it together, and I figured that maybe I could do it as well. I just happened to be in a circle where a gentleman, Pretty, he was already into that field. So when I came to him with my ideas, I said, look, if I write a web series, would you film it? He was like, absolutely, under one condition. You make me one of the main characters. So the little circle that we had around us, which was myself, Pretty, Nitty, Ty Banger, and 2-5, I figured, how about I might as well incorporate all of the gentlemen that I hang around now anyway. So I brought the idea to all of them, and to kind of give them an idea of what it was that they were getting into, I asked them to go and watch the web series. They watched some episodes, they came back and said, yo, I'm with it. I'm ready to do something like that. So the rest was history in that regards. So it wasn't like I had some plans to get into web series specifically, but I did have plans to one day get into film.
And how did you come up with the concept for 848? Because I mean, the web series is fire.
Well, I always was like promoting the title way before the show started, because the title is 848. It's actually a drug statute, like a charge that one can be charged with in the federal correctional system or judicial system, and it's pretty much like the kingpin charge. So I said, you know what, I want to, and I know titles are important,
Absolutely.
projects when we're writing it, whether it's books, movies, or whatever, poems or whatever. And I said, I didn't want to go with anything cliche, but I wanted to get a title that was kind of short, concise, to the point, and something maybe easily to remember. I know there's like a TV show called First 48 that's kind of like, embedded in people's heads. But the 848 thing, I said, I want to write a story that all of the characters can potentially be charged with 848, being a kingpin. And that will cover everything and everybody in one show. And that's why I thought the title fitted.
So how was it like with you finding your team? Did you grow up with, your set members, or did you have to go outside of that and find them? Because I know in anything, especially in entertainment and film and anything, having a strong team and people you can trust is very important.
Well, like I do know a lot of people, and but I know that even knowing a lot of people, you may have a vision yourself.
Right.
So I had this vision myself. I didn't know if everybody else would believe in it the same way I was doing. What I needed to do was at least get it off the ground and show people that I was serious. So the few people that I had around me, which like I said was Nitty, who's my nephew, and Pretty, Ty Banger, and 2-5 were his friends. Even though 2-5 lived across the street from me, he was much younger than me, so I didn't really know him. But Nitty was cool with all of them. I met them through Nitty, and I knew them for some years before we even started the 848. Because they had been coming around, and I guess I could trust them being around every day, I figured they were going to be like the main characters and most important initially. And if we can get the ball rolling with just us, other people would eventually gravitate, because we had like other people around us that was also cool. It wasn't like the main family,
Right.
but they were very close, like an extended family, so to speak. And we would reach out to them and say, look, we're gonna put this project together. We may need some more people. Are you guys willing to be a part of it? And everybody was like, yeah, just call me, let me know when y'all ready. Again, I wanted to have some scenes done with just us and show the people and say, look, we serious about it, are y'all with it? And that did, however, encourage people to take us seriously and say, you know what, call me when y'all need me. And Egypt, she came about because I knew her, she's from the neighborhood, and one day I had reached out to her and I was explaining what was going on, because I had like another young lady that was supposed to play Egypt. She ended up getting pregnant, and so she had to like fall back a little bit. I was still looking for a female, which is why in season 1, the first episode, Egypt wasn't present, because
Right.
I didn't have nobody at the time. When I got with her, she was like, damn, you should have told me, I do acting. So her very first scene was the very first day she showed up and kind of auditioned for us.
Okay.
It came out good, and we just started filming right there on the spot in regards to her scenes. So that's how she got down with the crew.
So what would you say to maybe a young boy that admires you and is looking to do, film, or maybe be an author or a great entrepreneur like yourself?
I would tell any young people out there, anybody out there, any aspiring writers, actors, videographers, directors, producers, you can find me on social media. Hit me up, Instagram, Eat 'em All Inch. Facebook is Antoine Inch Thomas. I know a lot of people are trying to figure out how can they break out or break into the industry. Any questions, concerns, or anything, you can reach out to me. I'll answer whatever. Anybody wants to join my team, you can hit me up, again, on social media. And understand that even if you're not from New York City, where I'm from and where we primarily film 848, I know a lot of people, I associate with a lot of people. I may can put you on to somebody that's close to you or in your town or whatever. So don't hesitate. Always, don't keep your mouth shut when you're trying to advance yourself in whatever career or whatever it is. Always ask questions, always network, be polite, be respectful, and
Absolutely.
you never know what the future is going to hold.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you all for tuning into the Jazzy Mango Red Carpet Lounge, and also check me out on Love Hurts on the Silk White YouTube channel. I just want to give a big shout out to my homeboy Benny Bricks in the building from 848. Hot web series out right now,
You
y'all.
jazzy. You everything a man could ever want, girl, you jazzy. You not about that drama, you loyal and classy, you jazzy. And all these other niggas shoot the shot, but you ain't having it, girl, you jazzy. And I love about that drama, you loyal and classy, you jazzy. And all these other niggas shooting shot, but you ain't have it. Girl, you jazzy.